Business welcomed President Cyril Ramaphosa's statement on Tuesday, in which he backed the self-generation of electricity for companies and private citizens. The president's position has irked Labour, who says it's been left out of a process which puts thousands of workers at risk. But analysts say diversifying the country's energy mix through new players is the only way to keep the lights on.
I do believe that the time for planning is over. I do believe that it is time to actually execute these plans, and where there are areas of overlap that makes sense for the country in terms of what the country requires from an electricity point of view, that needs to be streamlined and implemented immediately. I think the ESCOM special paper that was tabled last year by the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, is the best step in the right direction, because that gives clear timelines for execution as well as provides direction as to where ESCOM needs to go over the next 2 years.
Unions believe the move to self-generation doesn't form part of a just transition and will only benefit the private sector.
You can't introduce renewable energy if it means that thousands of people are going to be rendered jobless. You're not fixing the problem. And that's what a just transition is. Now, what we've seen in South Africa in terms of how this has been applied, there's been absolutely no application of the principles of just transition whatsoever. Just transition, at the heart of it, is that there must be genuine and detailed consultation of the working class, of workers, of communities about that process. We've seen none of that taking place in this country.
We feel that the new CEO has been given a clear mandate to unbundle and implement more IPPs, independent power producers. And with the independent power producers, they are not doing anything to stop load shedding or to help reduce load shedding that we see in South Africa right now.
But Mdladla says only administrative hurdles stood in the way of IPPs, contributing further to the energy grid.
I don't believe that self-generation is a problem. I think the bigger issue is from a utility scale generation in terms of feeding into the grid. How soon can ESCOM start the process of procuring IPPs and engaging the existing ones to expand the capacity? So, number one, how do we further build capacity within the existing IPP network, and what are the technologies that are the quickest to construct and put on the grid?
Lobby group Outer, which supports the breaking up of ESCOM into separate business units, says the Energy Department has to move fast to bring IPPs online.
The department has to quickly process all applications that have already been submitted so that we ease the pressure on ESCOM. As you can see, ESCOM doesn't have actually guaranteed assurance that it will meet demand, given that the situation of rampant breakdowns and all things like that from their power stations, especially the coal fleet.
Workers are also making other demands. Shlubi Majola says they want the removal of ESCOM's top executives.
What we're calling for is for the entire board to go. We're calling for Pravin Gordhan to be sacked. The fact of the matter is that ESCOM is at a crisis, and we need people who actually have the skills and the ability to turn this organization around. Not people who are going to be placed here in order to break it up apart and sell it off to the private sector to the benefit of their political cronies.
For Newsroom Africa on Channel 405, I'm Farron Collins in Johannesburg.